Hello everybody, welcome once again to your own channel Krishna Singhdeoclasses. So students, we are doing a very important chapter which is called issue of shares. In issue of shares, we have covered quite a few concepts till now. What is issue of shares at par? What is issue of shares at premium? Issue of shares in case of oversubscription. Yes, today's topic is also in continuation with this oversubscription only. We had seen when company has invited less number of shares and public is applying for more number of shares, that particular situation is known as oversubscription. Directors have three choices to deal with this. Number one, to reject the excess applications received. Number two, distribute the same number of share among the applicants which have applied for more number of share. This particular situation is known as pro rata allotment. And today we are going to deal with case number 3, that is combination of pro rata and rejection. Means some number of shares which have oversubscribed will be rejected and some people will be distributed shares or allotted shares on pro rata basis. So this is going to be a good exercise for you. And how are we going to approach towards this concept? This concept will be dealt with the help of two questions which we are going to do today. Yes, not one, we are going to deal with two questions today because this is one of the most important topic of whole issue of shares chapter, oversubscription with rejection and pro rata allotment. When we will do the forfeiture in the coming days, at that time also this particular concept only is going to play very important role. So without any further delay, let's get started. So here are these two questions, students, which we are going to deal with in today's class. From where are you going to get these questions? Don't worry. You can get these questions from my app Krishna's Classes under free study material section. This will be provided to you. So from there you can easily download this file. Okay, so let's start the questions. You will solve it along with me. I'll strongly recommend that sit with your pen and notebook and solve along with me these questions. We are dealing with the topic of pro rata and rejection, both the things happening in the same question. So how to deal with this? First of all, for this we'll have to make an analytical table where we are going to analyze the whole situation. So knowing how to make this table is very important. In the previous class also we had made same kind of table, and today also we will do this question with the help of table only. Yes, of course, without the table also these kind of questions are possible, because so many of you must be having this doubt in your mind that can we skip making the table. You can skip making the table, there's no doubt about it, but my personal experience says that when you make the table, the things become very easy, and chances of making the mistakes are lesser. So invest some time in making the table. Once you have learned the art of making the table, it hardly takes 1.5 minutes. So if by investing 1.5 minutes you are getting the assurance of having your figures correct, why not to invest that much of time? So we will learn it with the help of table. The question number 1 is here. X Limited for public issued for public subscription 40,000 equity shares of ₹10 each at a premium of ₹2 per share. So the shares are issued at premium, and what is the premium? Premium is ₹2 per share. Payable as under on application. This is not star mark. This is ₹4 per share on allotment, again ₹5 per share, and here only the premium is included. So this is actually 3 plus 2, ₹3 for equity share capital and ₹2 for premium, and on call ₹3 per share. So 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12. So there is no further call. This is what applications were received for 60,000. So this is a situation of oversubscription. We had invited public, X Limited had invited public for 40,000 share, but the applications came for 60,000 shares. So a situation of oversubscription. How did company deal with this? Allotment was made on pro rata to the applicants of 48,000 shares. Means 60,000 48,000 applicants were given 40,000 shares, and remaining 12,000 shares are being refused or rejected. See, being refused, the remaining applications being refused means the money was refunded. Money overpaid on application was utilized towards some due allotment, which we had done in the previous class also. Show the journal entries to record the transaction. So we have to record this transaction. For this, first of all, we are going to make the table. If you want to refer to the question along with this exercise of solving the question, then please take the screenshot from here. Otherwise, later on you will get the copy of this thing, which you can download and take the printout and file it nicely. Let's start it. So we are doing, first of all, analysis table for shares. And here I am going to write shares allotted, shares applied, shares applied is going to be my first column, then shares allotted is going to be my second column, application money received, my third column, transfer to share capital is my fourth column, excess is my fifth column, and after that I have adjusted on allotment, next column, and refund or bank is my last column. So these many columns are there. Don't get worried that how many columns are there, how we are going to deal with it. Is very simple. You will be able to do it. So first we'll deal with the share applicants who have applied for 48,000 shares. These people were allotted 40,000 shares. Okay, remaining are 12,000 shares who were not allotted any share. So my number of shares applied by people have become 60,000 and number of shares allotted had become 40,000. Now I will have to do column number 1. If this is my column number 1, this is my column number 2, and this is my column number 3, where I am doing column number 1 into application money. What is the amount of application money? The amount of application money is rupees 4 per share. So I will multiply it with rupees 4. So applied number of share 48,000 multiplied by 4, we had received money of 1,92,000. 1,92,000 rupees is being received by us, and here 12,000 multiplied by 4, we have received 48,000. Okay, this is the amount we have received. I'm doing the total also because I may need this total. I may not. I will need this total later on while passing the journal entry. So 2,40,000 is written over here. Transfer to share capital. Now what is this column? Transfer to share capital means how many shares are being allotted to the shareholder, that number of share multiplied by the application money. Okay, so means I can say my column, I'll write it with a different color. My column number 2 multiplied by rupees 4, if I do, I will get how much is to be transferred to share capital. So they have been allotted 40,000 share. 40,000 multiplied by 4, I'm going to do 1,60,000 is going to be transfer to share capital, whereas here no shares were allotted, so nil multiplied by 4, the answer is nil only. Here also I will do the total because I require this total later on. Now what is the amount of excess money available with us? We will come to know what is excess money when we deduct from column number 3, column number 4. We will come to know what is the excess money. This is my column number 4, this is my column number 5, this is my column number 6, and the last column is column number 7. Okay, so here I am going to get 1,92,000 minus 1,62,000. So 1,92,000 minus 1,60, not 62, is 32,000. 32,000 rupees is the excess amount available with us, and here whole 48,000 is the excess amount available with us. I can leave totaling this column because as such this column's total will not require anywhere. So I have just left it as it is. Now from here, how much will be adjusted towards allotment? Understand, the shareholders who have been allotted the shares on pro rata basis, they have given us some excess money. In this case, there have been applications for 48,000, but these people are being allotted only 40,000 shares. So there is excess money available in respect of 8,000 shares. 8,000 multiplied by 4 means 32,000 amount is excess with us. This excess money will not be refunded to shareholder. Instead of refunding it to them, what are we going to do? We will utilize this money at the time of allotment. So that is why adjusted toward allotment account is being, a column is being made. So here I am going to write 32,000. Okay, but the same thing is not possible in case of the shareholders or the applicant, sorry, not shareholder, to whom nothing is being allotted, because they have not been allotted anything, so their money cannot be adjusted anywhere. They have to be only refunded. So whatever is here in this extra column is, it will go to the last column, which is my refund column. Okay, so the shareholder who have paid extra amount and who have been allotted share on the pro rata basis, their money will be adjusted along with allotment, and the shareholders who did not receive anything, their money will be simply refunded. So we have done the total. This table is very, very important, students, because if you do not make this table properly, you will have a problem in later part of the question. So it did not take too much of time. You have seen that I have made this table in just few minutes, and that too when I'm explaining it to you. At the same time I'm writing, and then also it did not take time. When you will do it, you are not explaining it to anyone, you are doing it for yourself, so you will make it much faster than me. Now let us start passing the entries. So the first entry is going to, now you will see how simple it becomes. When you do it with the help of table, you just have to pick up the figures from the table and write it down. So I'm skipping to make the format over here of journal, assuming that you all know the format of journal. So my first entry is going to be bank account debit to equity share application. And here I will simply write, now I will not put under bracket the number of share and multiply it with the amount of application money. I'll simply put this column from here, this column, the total, which is 2,40,000. How much application money was received, we have already total, so no further calculation is required for that. Now entry number 2, you have to be very careful. In entry number 2, this equity share application account will be closed. I'm going to write over here equity share application, and again the things have become very, very simple because of the table. We'll just pick up the things from table and write down. Let me finish writing the entry first, and then I'll pick up the amount from the table. So here what is happening, first of all, application money for the number of shares allotted is getting transferred to equity share capital. So I'll write over here equity share capital. Then what is happening? The next thing is happening over here. We are refunding some money to the applicants to whom no shares are being allotted. So I'll write to bank. And in the same question, we are issuing the shares on pro rata basis also. That is why here some money will be adjusted on allotment also. So that share allotment also I have to write. So I have written 3 things on the credit side, and I have to tally my entry. Means my debit side should tally with match with my credit side. So I'll just go and pick up, see, transfer to share capital. What is this amount? 1,60,000. Simply you have to put this amount in front of share capital, because this amount you have transferred to share capital. And if you want to multiply it, 40,000 multiplied by 4, if you do, you will get the same amount. So you don't have to do it again. Now how much is adjusted towards allotment? Allotment we have adjusted 32,000. So just simply put that figure over here, 32,000. And how much is being refunded will come in front of bank. So this 48,000 is being refunded. So simply you have put the figures from above. Okay, so this has become very simplified with the help of table. Now we are doing the allotment entry. Allotment entry in this question is going to be along with the premium money. So my entry will be equity share allotment account debit to equity share capital. This is my due entry. Always remember, due entries are first after the application to securities premium. Why securities premium? Because there is 2 rupees premium also there. So here I am going to write 40,000 multiplied by 5, because 5 rupees is due on allotment. So this is becoming 2 lakh rupees, and here I will write 40,000 multiplied by 3. This is 1,20,000, and here I am going to write 40,000 multiplied by 2, and this is becoming 80,000. So this is how I am going to write the allotment due entry. Now when I receive the allotment money, don't forget that you have to adjust this thing. I had made the ledger in the previous class, and I had shown you that how we have to reduce this amount and write, and your account is getting closed also. So share allotment account is getting closed, but you have to write the lesser amount. Bank account debit to equity share allotment, and the amount will be the total amount due, which is 2 lakh rupees, minus 32,000. Why minus 32,000? Because this 32,000 we have already received along with the application, because people have applied for excess amount, and that is getting adjusted over here. So this becomes 1,68,000. I hope you are getting it and you remember it from the previous class, students, that we have to deduct this amount because we have already received it in advance from our shareholders who have applied for 48,000 shares, and we have allotted them only 40,000 shares. Now the next entry is for call money getting due. So the entry is going to be equity share first and final call account debit to equity share capital. Here I am going to write 40,000 into 3. So this will become 1,20,000 and 1,20,000. Okay, this is my money due at the time of equity share first and final call, and the last entry is going to be bank account debit to equity share first and final call. You have received all the money from the shareholders. This is how we are going to deal with this question. Very simple, with the help of table. So once we have made the table, the things have become very simple. So don't forget to make this analysis table while solving the questions which have both pro rata allotment and rejection. And even in pro rata there can be different kind of classes. So our question number 2 is like that only, where we have different classes of pro rata allotment also. So I'm coming over here to the next question now. Over here you see this question is there, which is saying Nav Lakshmi Limited issued prospectus inviting how many shares? 50,000 shares of rupees 10 each. So this time the allotment is not on premium, the allotment is at par. On application they are asking rupees 3 from public, on allotment they are asking rupees 4 from public, and first call rupees 2 and final call balance. So let's do the total. 4 plus 3 7 8 9. So final call is rupees 1. Okay. Applications were received for how many shares? 60,000 shares. They're invited for 50, but applications have come for 60,000 shares. Means there is oversubscription by 10,000 shares. So how did they deal with this situation? See, they have given you this applicants of rupees of 10,000 share is in full. So 10,000 shareholders who were applicant also of 10,000, they have received all 10,000 share. Applicants of 20,000 were given on pro rata basis 15,000 share, and another shareholder, another category who had applied for 30,000 shares, we have given them 25,000. So everybody has got something. In this question there is no rejection, but pro rata itself is quite lengthy over here. So again, table is a must for these kind of question. In fact, in current year sample question paper in ISC board, the kind of question which has come, that can also be dealt only with the help of table. Don't worry, we will deal with that question in the coming classes. So stay connected with us. If you are thinking that only only the plain, concept teaching is going to happen over here, and no practice, you are wrong. There will be lot of questions and important questions which we'll be dealing in these videos. So let's do this one and then we'll discuss about that later. So what is this? Analysis table is required first of all. So I'm making my analysis table here itself so that I can easily pick up the information from up. So analysis table is here. Under analysis table I have, oh, I should do it down because then this thing will disturb me. Okay, I am taking it little bit down over here, my analysis table, where I have the column. First column is share applied, then shares allotted, then application money received, then transfer to share capital. My next column is going to be excess money, then adjusted on allotment, and the last column is going to be of refund. I'm going to name these columns also, number these columns also. So this is my column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Altogether 7 columns I have made. Now I'm going to put the information over here. First of all, the 10,000 applicants have received all 10,000 shares. Then I think there was 25. Let me go and check. So 20,000 share applicants have received 15,000 share. 20,000 applicants have received 15,000 shares, and last one was 30,000 applicants have received 25,000 shares. So if I do the total, here it is 30 plus 20 is 50, 50 plus 10 is 60. So 60,000 applications we have received, whereas we have issued 50,000 number of shares. Okay, because this is what we had invited for. Now let's see what is the application money. The amount of application money is rupees 3 per share. So this is 3 rupees is going to be helpful for us over here. So what are we going to do? We are going to multiply over here with 3 rupees. So here I am going to multiply my allotted number of share, applied number of shares with rupees 3. So I am writing over here my column number 1 with multiplying with rupees 3 per share I am doing over here. Okay, so I am writing over here 30,000 rupees, then this is 60,000 rupees and this is 90,000 rupees. So altogether 1,80,000 is being received by us. This I'm going to write over here. Then after this, in transfer to share capital, how much I have to multiply with what? I have to multiply my column number 2 with rupees 3. Because this is transferring to share capital, and transferring to share capital can be with allotted number of shares. So 10,000 multiplied by 3, here it is going to remain same because we have applied shares in full. Here it is going to be 15,000 multiplied by 3. So 15,000 multiplied by 3 is 45,000, and here also this is 25,000 multiplied by 3, 75,000. So this way we have solved this one also, and again here total is required. So $1,50,000 is the total. Now next is excess money. How are we going to find out what is the amount of excess money? That is our column number 3 minus column number 4. So we will find out what is the excess money there with us and how to adjust with this. So there is no excess money because whatever number of shares they had applied, they have got the allotment of same number of share. Here we have excess money. We have received 45, but we have received 60, but 45 is the amount which is transferred to share capital. And here we had received 90,000 shares and we have transferred only 75 to share capital. So in both the cases I have 15 and 15,000 rupees in excess. So 30,000 rupees I am writing over here. Now what amount is going to be adjusted towards allotment is the same amount, 15,000 and 15,000. So this will be adjusted over here, and there is nothing to be refunded in this question because there is no rejection and no excess money which is to be refunded. So like this we have made the table, students. I hope you have understood the table. If you have not noted it down with me, you can take a pause and take the screenshot from here. Okay, now this table is going to help us in the coming journal entries. Let's start doing the journal entries. It's very important to invest the time properly in making the table, because here if you do the mistake, then the whole purpose of making the table will be going for vain. Because if you have made mistake over here, means you're going to surely make the mistake in the videos also. So don't make mistake over here. Invest your time in making this table again and again. I'm saying you the same thing because it is very important. So the first entry is going to be bank account debit to equity share application, which I'm simply going to pick up from here. This much, 1,80,000 we have received. Second one is equity share application, account debit to equity share capital. I'll just finish writing the entry first and then I'll fill in the figure. To equity share allotment, there is nothing to be returned for banks. I'll leave that equity share allotment because we have not refunded anything. Okay, so again the beauty of table is that you just have to pick up the amount from table and fill in over here. So how much are we transferring to equity share capital? We are transferring to equity share capital 1,50,000 and 30,000 is adjusted towards allotment. So simply that much you have to write down from the table itself. Now the next entry is allotment money getting due. So allotment money getting due, the entry is going to be equity share allotment account debit to equity share capital. Always the due entry is going to come first and then the receiving entry. And how many shares? 50,000 shares were allotted. And what is the amount of allotment money? Let us check it from the question. It was 4 rupees per share on allotment. So rupees 4 per share we are going to write over here. Rupees 4 per share. So 2 lakh rupees is due from the shareholders and they all have paid it also. So we will write it over here. Number 4 entry, bank account debit to equity share allotment. And here we will receive less amount of money. Why less amount of money? Because 30,000 was adjusted at the time of allotment. So that 30,000 is to be deducted from here. So the company is going to get 1,70,000, not because the shareholders are defaulty, because they have paid it in advance. Now we are making the first call due entry, and the first call due entry is equity share first call account debit to equity share capital. The amount is first call was, let me check, I forgot, 2 rupees and final call is 1 rupees. Okay, so remember that rupees 2. So you are going to do 50,000 multiplied by rupees 2. This is going to be 1 lakh and 1 lakh. Next entry is receiving this. So your entry is going to be bank account debit to equity share first call account 1 lakh We have received it from everybody. And the next entry is equity share final call account debit to equity share capital, which is 1 rupees per share. So 50,000 multiplied by 1. This is 50,000 rupees here and 50,000 rupees here. So this is what is your entries with the help of table. I hope you understood this particular part very well, students, and this is not going to come in one time questions. Okay, so just one question or two question, if you think that you do along with me and you will understand, you are wrong. Let me tell it very clearly. I do not want to make false claims over here that only if you do these two questions you have done everything and you will understand. You will understand the concept, no doubt about that, but only with the practice you are going to get mastery over it. And you require mastery because you do not have too much of time during the exam, and the kind of questions which are coming in CBSE and ISC board these days, they are not easy questions. Especially issue of shares is a demanding chapter. It's not difficult, but it's a demanding chapter. It needs your time, and once you know, you will never make mistake in this kind of chapter. Issue of shares, issue of debenture, these are certain chapters where you will not make mistakes once you understand the concept properly. So invest your time properly in understanding the concept, and then invest the double time in doing the practice. Then you see your results are going to surely improve. So that's all for today, students. If you have not yet subscribed the channel, many of you have not subscribed the channel and you come and watch our video, please do subscribe the channel, and we'll meet once again in the next class. Till then, bye, have a great day.